Hello, my name is Henry, and in the previous video we saw basics of Selenium. So here is the test that we made in the previous video using Firefox add-on. And for this video we're going to export the test generated to Visual Studio so we can run it through Visual Studio. So we're going to create a unit test project, install the dependencies using NuGet packages. Then we will export the code to C# and we will try to run the test in Visual Studio. We will have an exception being thrown, and in the next video I'll show how to fix this exception. I'll not show in this video because I think it's going to be too long, so let's do it. So come here to your solution, you go to add. Also, if you search this exception in the internet, you will find the answer easily. But anyway, I'll make the video. Um, so you come here, new project. You pick test, unit test project. You give it a name. So I'm putting Selenium test video. So okay. It's going to create the project for us. It already creates a sample of a unit test. So first thing, we are going to add the dependencies via NuGet packages. So what are we going to add? The first thing is this NUnit. Now we are going to install the Selenium stuff. Selenium. So we're going to install Selenium WebDriver. Selenium support. And since we are using Firefox for doing the test, I'm going to install Selenium Firefox WebDriver. Also, one nice thing is that Selenium has a Internet Explorer driver. This is good because since Internet Explorer is not updated like quite often, it tends to work very well with Internet Explorer. But anyway, since we started to use Firefox, I'll be using Firefox. And so here, okay, everything is installed. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to export the test. So file, export test case as C# and unit WebDriver. Then we give it a name. So I already have one here. So I'm going to name it. Since we search for Selenium, so search Selenium test. So I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to add this item that I just saved to my project. So I saved on the desktop. Here it is, search Selenium test. I add it. One thing, I have to change the namespace here, which is Selenium test as default, but my namespace is Selenium test video. So I'm changing it. Since I'm not using all of this, I'm going to remove just for let this one, maybe I'll use it later. Here. So everything's okay. So now we go to the unit test and we instantiate the class. I'm going to call it T1, like as in test one. I'll create a new object of the search Selenium test. So T1 setup test. So what this is going to do, this is going to call this method here, which will open the Firefox browser and this page, which is the page that we start our test, is this page here. And so ideally it's going to do that, open the Firefox, go to this page, and then what we need to do, we need to call this test using here the search Selenium test. This we have all the steps. Okay, so type Selenium, click enter, and then verify if it is written Selenium in the title. So we call this test one dot the search Selenium test, and then after that we will call this teardown test. We call this so it will close the browser, for example. If we don't call this teardown test, the browser will remain open. And if you have many Selenium tests you want to execute in a row, they will leave the browser open and then your computer will start to get very slow. So teardown test. So ideally what's going to happen, again, open the browser, run the steps, and close the browser. And then since it is a unit test, it will have a value of pass or fail in the end. So it's not going to work because I need to set up the environmental variable for the Firefox. It's going to search for the Firefox and it's not going to find it. So I'm just going to show the error. So in the next video, I'm going to show how to fix this error, and also I'm going to show that Selenium sometimes misses the elements in the page. So it tries to find a certain button or a certain box test and it misses. So this is also something that you have to constantly troubleshoot using Selenium. But after you get used to it, it's not that hard. You have this problem with most of the UI automation frameworks that you are going to use. And since Selenium is really popular, you'll definitely find answers on the internet. So this is the first exception that we come across. After solving that, we will be used to see the steps, and then we'll have to solve the issues with Selenium not find the objects. But this is a matter for a future video. So for now, thank you and see you on the next videos.